Since that night, I barely sleep. When I close my eyes, I see Abesai staring up at me from the bottom of that pit. His mouth moving silently, begging for help I could never give him. The prince didn't have to keep me in his prison, I carried it with me, back to the village, with every passing day. People started noticing that I changed. They'd ask why I looked so thin, why I seemed so afraid. I wanted to scream the truth to everyone, to tell them that Prince Okelo had stolen my brother, that he was keeping people, our own people, like prisoners right in the heart of his palace. But I knew what would happen if I spoke out. The prince had made it clear that he'd come for me too if I tried. One evening, just after sunset, an elder named Naya came to my family's hut. Naya had always been close with my mother, helping her with herbs and cures whenever we were sick. She sat down beside me, her eyes deep and wise, and said, "Kato, you're haunted. And I don't mean by the spirit of your brother." My hands shook, and I could barely meet her gaze. "I don't know what you're talking about." But she only placed a gentle hand on mine. "I do," she said. "You think you're the only one he's taking someone from?" I stared at her, my heart racing. She knew, she must have known all along. "When I was a girl," she continued, "Prince Okelo's father ruled this land, and he was no kinder than his son. My cousin disappeared after looking at the prince the wrong way. They found her sandals outside the palace gates a week later. After that, my family swore never to speak of it. It became a story, one people whispered about, a warning for children." Her voice grew heavy. "But they were real people, Kato, just like your brother. Why doesn't anyone do anything?" I asked, desperation choking my words. "Why doesn't anyone fight back?" Naya sighed, looking away, her expression worn with age and sorrow. "People survive by keeping quiet. By pretending it doesn't touch them." The weight of her words felt like stones in my chest. I could keep pretending, like everyone else, but how long until another brother, another sister, another friend disappeared? How long would Prince Okelo keep taking from us? That night, I made a choice. If the prince could live in the safety of his palace, surrounded by guards, then we would make sure he knew we were watching him too. At first, it was small things. My friends and I would sneak close to the palace gates and leave marks, scratches, symbols, anything to let him know we were there. Then we left whispers of his deeds around the village, telling tales of the missing people, the cries from the pit. Some were too afraid to listen, but others started to believe. Little by little, people began to share their own stories, admitting that they too had lost loved ones. That they, too, had once heard strange voices coming from the palace ground. And one night, just as the moon was hidden behind the clouds, a group of us met by the river. Naya was there, leading us with a lantern in her hand. "We are not here to fight," she said, "but we are here to remember, to make it known that we know, that we see." One by one, we lit candles and placed them on the water, letting them drift toward the palace in the distance, each flame carrying a memory, a voice of the lost. From that night on, the people of our village began lighting candles by the river every month, watching as they floated toward the palace. At first, the guards tried to stop us, scaring people away, but we returned every time. And soon, people from other villages started joining, bringing their own candles, their own stories. It wasn't a battle. We had no swords, no weapons, nothing but our memories and our light. But something in Prince Okelo changed. People said he stayed inside his palace more often, that his guards were doubled. And every time we lit those candles, his palace seemed just a little darker, a little quieter. I don't know if we'll ever get them back, all the people he took, including Abesai. But we won't stop. As long as we remember, as long as our candles float down that river, we'll haunt him with our light. And perhaps, one day, Prince Okelo will be the one afraid to close his eyes. What happens next? Is the prince finally breaking, or is something more sinister at play? If you want to find out, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for the next episode, and share this story with others. Let's spread the light just like the villagers did. See you in the next one.